What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into Gears Pro League. I am back with the duo. I'm back reunited. I am back sitting next to the greatest man to ever walk the face of this earth. Jacob, I'm so happy you're back, baby. I know you got back last week, but like for me, you're back. Now you're like officially back.
Hey, I made it a request. I took Taylor by the neck and I said, look at me here.
Woo!
This is the last chance that we're going to have for a lot of us, for the casters. And I said, I better get a show day with each and every one of you guys before we kind of turn around and hit that major. So I'm excited to be here back with you, Colin, Peanut Butter and Jelly, the duo of all duos.
Yeah, I'm above and beyond myself right now with excitement. Yesterday might have been my birthday, but this truly feels like a gift. And talking of gifts, I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, but some of these teams have been beating up on some other teams like they've been getting handed presents. Let's look at the Pro League standings. Rise up there at 5-0, but the rest of the league battling it out as always, Jacob.
Yeah, you talking about horses. Rise is above and beyond everybody else in that horse race. But when it comes to E United, the Pittsburgh Knights, and surprisingly enough, Rebel, they're just one step behind. They're right on the heels from the rest of those top teams. But Pioneers, Casa de Papel, Northern Forces, they're that 2 steps behind the top-ranked teams, but it's still within their control. That's the most important part.
Speaking of not being in control, Jacob, you want to know somebody who ain't had control of predictions this entire goddamn season? It's your boy Colin, all right?
Hey, what do you mean?
It's me. Hey, no, this is just for this split, brother. This is for this split. I know you saw that Pro League casting chat, boy. I know you saw where I was.
I mean, you know where I was as well, but Toby enough coming in and really showing me and you how it's done. I got to give a round of applause for Toby. Can't wait to see him back.
I'm still mad at Taylor. Last week, I'm not going to lie to you, Jacob. I'm going to let the whole world know. I threw like 180,000 points on a team I knew would lose to give Taylor a leg up. And then he switches his pick later on that night, and he blew it. He blew his 1-point lead that I handed it to him for free. I basically tripped the dude up in a race. I tripped the dude up on the home stretch, and Taylor is he just gasses like 5 feet from the finish line. I just needed him to get across.
What happened was, Taylor, you were in front of Taylor, right? You look back, you saw him, he slipped, he fell, and you were the nice guy. You say, you know what, Taylor, let me help you back up. And then he pushes you down and crosses the finish line first.
He pushed me in, and then he pushed me, and then Twitch Chat stepped on both of us in the final game to tie it right back up. But hey, if you want to talk about making a play like I did, where I tried to make a play to help my boy Taylor, these pros, they make plays each and every day of their life. Let's take a look at the top plays from week 3.
What you gonna do?
But granted, I will say that Warrior has beat me in a lot of game 5s. All right, I give him that. All right, I give him that. Outside of one event, I forgot what event that was, but you know, we're gonna keep on going.
Rotate out now. They have a chance at a free long shot. If they just rotate back, they get it into the hands of Cells. Cells is now ready to go, ready to roll. Give it a headshot, gets it. Toxic's already down. There's nobody there to save him. He gets the body shot on the smokes. 1 player left alive. Cells bouncing around, feeling himself. Lines him up a third. Absolutely gold. Map 2v1 might ensue over to the B-Hill. Exploits as well as Cardio will pressure out toward TJ. Big angle, but TJ gets the 1-shot chunk on him, and maybe looking for a secondary here against Exploits. Little misroll back for TJ, but he catches him with a bounce, and now Crack is caught in no man's land. And 2v1, and he hits the headshot. That, ladies and gentlemen, could very well be your eSwapX play of the day. Very early in Gears 5 was his aggression in the 1v1, using his movement, using his shot-hitting ability to open up the slight angles for his teammate. But Beersley, he's going to open up Sleeafer with a Torque explosion, and now he realizes his teammate's got the help he needs in a 2v1 if he actually gets pressured out. The attempted slide into the up A. Raver's going to go down to Summon. Beautiful movement there. Now Summon's bouncing up into this next fight. Beersley needs to find a pick with that Torque to try to shut down this retake. Oh my God! Burn with the headshot. He got the 2. The secondary pick and says, hey, Cristalize, ain't nobody around to save you, brother.
They have to push forward, but they haven't just yet. They're taking their time. They're giving a lot of respect to Dyslexic, but also Powers with the snipe.
Nice. Cut him out. Roll comes through. There's the mark on Cardia. No shot on. Quick reload out from Powers. He's going to get that shot off and down. Monkeys gets headshotted. Beautiful kill there. 3v3 on the map now. Gets the headshot on crack. The misroll by Cardia. I said TJ might have the eSwap X play of the day. But Power said, hey, don't you ever forget about me. What you gonna do? Got a whole lot of them same names on the docket today as well, Jacob. Any of them plays stand out to you?
I mean, that Powers one at the end, it's very, very hard to make plays like that in general. If you're playing quick match, if you're playing against bots, but in order to make plays like that against the best of the best, it really goes to show why we go ahead and say Powers' name so much, why he is among the best of the best.
Man, put some stank on it there at the end with a big old exclamation point to finish off that night. And if you want to know who might be putting some top plays together for us, start fixing them things up, you got to take a look at that schedule, baby. We got Rise and Team Queso here first off on the blocks, and then Fury 1 and Rebel. They're waiting in the wings. They're in the locker room getting ready. But, of course, you got to have a main event, baby. You got to have a top-of-the-card matchup. You got to have heavyweights to come out and put on a show. You want to talk about heavyweights? We got a team that's on a 3-win streak going up against the team that's been hot and cold like Katy Perry, boy. EU United versus Northern Forces there at 9 o'clock, Jacob.
Yeah, that's going to be a doozy of a match, but I like the ones that get us there along the way. Rise, undefeated so far, going up against Team Queso. You might have your favorites looking at that match, but I'm a believer of any given Sunday. Same as Fury 1 and Rebel in that second match. Rebel always figuring out a way to surprise people, and Fury 1, time and time again, always looking better each and every week they come out of the field.
And, of course, we cannot forget there's always a side station matchup going on. Two teams that need to find some wins, need to find some heat going into these last couple of weeks. Digital Slayers, they're going to take their best shot at the old house of paper, baby. They're going to try to burn that thing to the ground, but the problem is sometimes that paper, it just won't light. I'm telling you, that might be a hard out for Digital Slayers. But, Jacob, let's just roll right in to our first matchup. I ain't wasting no time tonight. I want to get to the action. Rise and Team Queso. Let's take a look at Rise's roster first. 4 of the best players in the world, the reigning defending champions. I'm going to let you take it because I know one of your boys is there on the left.
I mean, you know I like Rushiez. He's really emerging as that MVP caliber player that we know he can be. And the thing about this entire roster is they always figure out a way to come back when things look bleak. 5-0 so far. They already have the championship under their belt, and that's something Avexys wanted. And now these 4 men, including the 5th of Infinity towards their backside, they want to cement their legacy. They want to be the very last victors at the end of the season.
And, of course, Rushiez shares the best birthday on the planet, 365 days in a year. Me and him got the same one, boy. I tell you what, I didn't know I loved that man as much as I did until yesterday when I found out. But let's take a look and cut the cheese real quick. SuMuNs, Cristalize, Sleeafer, and Problems. They pick up SuMuNs in that offseason. They say, look, let's add an MVP caliber player. Let's add an experienced leader. Let's add some veteran leadership. Let's add Mr. Quality Control himself. SuMuNs, they still got a great core setup here. Sleeafer has been that guy that we talk about time and time again, being an evolution of himself, going from that pure support to a front spawn player. Problems also causing all kinds of situations for everybody. But let's take a look, a little deeper dive into Sleeafer. Struggling in the KDA and the damage, but that kill participation, Jacob. If you want to fight Sleeafer or any of his teammates, you better be ready to deal with that man at the same time.
Yeah, the KDA and the damage to me isn't too concerning because you know as well as I do, 93% you can still get a chug, 83% you can still get an elimination or 8 down, right? So being a 25th overall isn't that concerning, but that second place kill participation, that's what I'd like to see. That means he's putting out just enough damage to help everybody around the field win their fights, because how do you go into a fight knowing that, hey, I got 100% Colin, but you have 83, you have 93, I just need to land one good shot to really make the difference. And that's what Sleeafer is allowing his teammates to do. Feel that comfortability and feeling the pressure alleviate off their chests.
Well, Jacob, I'm going to put you in the interrogation room because you're smarter than me. You always have been when it comes to the game. So I need you to break down for me, why in the world would these teams ban these maps? Let's take a look at these bans real quick, baby. Bring them suckers up and so Jacob can tell me about it.
I mean, obviously, you got teams that play that different style. Do you ban away your worst map? Do you ban away your opponent's best map? Which part do you play into? And right now, just looking at it, I look at Team Queso's bans. They're banning away those quick, aggressive maps that Rise really excels on. But Rise, on the other hand, they're just banning away maps that is kind of like they don't necessarily want to play. Not that they don't excel on. You know they're very good at Spire. You know they can be really good at Aphira. But these are just the maps that are just towards the bottom of their totem pole. They're banking on their own gameplay without necessarily looking too deep into the game plan of Team Queso.
Well, let's see if it pays off for them. Let's see what maps actually got picked between these two squads. Ritual, Clocktower, Vasgar, Escalation, Reactor Control, and we're going to finish things off if we have to.
Wow.
They're on a map 5 where Rise, I mean, that's a back pocket sleeper map for Rise. You make it to map 5 against them and they can get a Canals there, boy. With Avexys on the squad, I'm sure they smiling from ear to ear. Got both hands in your pockets ready to run them.
And this is exactly what the map cycle I would think would play out. You got Team Queso banning away maps that they think Rise is good at. Well, Rise is kind of good on every map. They have that deep map pool. They can just ban and pick and choose. So if you look at the Rise picks, Ritual, Vasgar, and Canals, those are CQC, close quarters combat. They're ready to take the fight to Team Queso. But if you look at the execution, the Clocktower, Team Queso is very, very good on that map, but allows for so much flexibility like you saw in the recent major with Affinity picking and choosing where he wants to put the troops. And then you look at Reactor, another map that can be very, very CQC heavy and allow from the boys from Rise to go ahead and start to warm up very early. I'm very concerned for Team Queso in this matchup, but like I said to start the show, I'm a firm believer in any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday, anybody can roll out of spawn and beat you. That's why you got to play the game, okay? You got to come out of spawn. You got to take your shots. You got to see if you're hitting them, if you're on. And Jacob, I'm going to put you on the hot seat first. Let's find out if you think who is going to hit their shots.
It was already burning. I felt it. I felt it as you were going ahead and letting that sentence loose, but I kind of let my prediction kind of slip through. I hinted at it. The map cycle screams Rise. No matter if it's 1-3-5, 1-2-3, 2-3-4. I think they're going to win 3 maps throughout the cycle, and I think they're going to win it in confident factor. I got Rise taking the series either 3-0 or 3-1.
Jacob MVPR with the MVP pick. My man can't be denied on that one. I'm sticking right along with him. Team Queso about to get chopped up into Swiss cheese, thrown on a ham and turkey sandwich, boy, between 2 pieces of wheat bread with a little mustard on that sucker. We about to gobble them up. I know them Rise fans in chat too. I know we got to wait probably just a little bit longer to find out who the chat picking. I'm running through these predictions, but based on what I see already from just the predicted points, even with all my channel points, I couldn't put this bad boy in front.
I looked over.
Hey, yo, stop the count. Stop the count.
I'm a Libra, and that scale is totally one-sided. Please, you know what, Colin? Let me put 100 real quick on Team Queso because I'm about to win this bet and come out on top.
Hey, man, remember, Kenny went to like 1 million channel points just betting on himself like Pete Rose against the Pittsburgh Knights. My man said, I give myself about 350. He gave himself the Loch Ness Monster of points and came out the Loch Ness Monster of points after getting that 1 million. So we got everybody in chat. We got everybody in agreement. We got everybody in the game. So now it's all up to the players, unless, of course, it's me again. Hold on, let me try it.
Was it? No, not this time. Not this time. Sorry, Colin. It's not the right one. Wrong control. That one ain't even plugged in. I didn't even see it on, Colin. That one probably broken. It don't work. Throw that one out. What else you got for me?
You should have seen me in my chat the other day. I went through 4 different controllers that had the worst stick drift in your life. I picked up a controller, not this one. Started picking up another controller, not this one either. All right, we'll try it now. There we go.
There we go. Finally, I told you it was the wrong controller. The other one wasn't even plugged in. Battery's dead. A button popped out. Don't work. We know you spamming in ranked.
Hey, look, hey. I've been trying to get on your level when it comes to hitting that green skittle, baby. I'll tell you that much. I'm trying to bounce around, make people do a double take, think they see apparitions out here. Shout out one time Ghost Gaming, who had some world champions on that squad, like the one and only Jordan Ribeiro, and of course Rushiez. And you're getting to hear the sights and sounds of Ritual, the sights and sounds of all this beautiful gameplay, and of course, maybe even the sights and sounds of these two knuckleheads talking about Gears Esports if you are hooked up with the official audio partner of Gears Esports, Astro Gaming. Boy, you better get yourself tournament ready at astrogaming.com. Get over there quick, lickety split, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and better make yourself some preparation to get the best sound in all of esports.
As you're calling that out, I'm looking around my desk right now, and I feel like my desk is an advertisement to Astro. I got the ones on my head. I got a backup pair next to me where I just got to switch the wire. Then I got the A50s just in case I do want to go wireless. And this is going to be a big one. Figure out who is going to come out on top. This initial means so much between these two teams because whoever wins this one gets the torque bow, they get the beginning time, and they really can set their foot down.
I love that early shot that we saw from Jordan Ribeiro right there, getting that beautiful action on the right-hand side of Avexys. He's going to get 2v1 down to the front. Beautiful little counter by Sleeafer. And Sleeper's trying to hide his numbers for just a moment, but he gets reloaded on, and as soon as he steps away from the fight, they take over the backside of the altar. Now it's 3v3, shot over the top. Wrap shot comes in. Beautiful job by DeToX. He goes for a second, but no second wrap needed. His teammates already cleaned up the mess on aisle 5.
Yeah, this is where it just gets real rough, because even though it looks like Team Queso are going to get that first elimination, really begin to build off of it, things just come crumbling down left and right. Luckily for them, they're able to win the fight towards the north side of the map, taking down Avexys and really trying to stagger out their opponents, getting those frag grenades. So it's going to be very, very important while the beginning players from Team Queso lead the fight, that the frag grenades from Sleeafer are absolutely perfect. And with 24 seconds, it's going to force him to really make a decision. Do you waste those frags for 20 seconds, or do you play for next?
Well, we'll see what decision he's going to make here. 3 torques left in the quiver here for DeToX. DeToX moving up to the side of the map here toward P2. One player down already. Second one's going to get picked off in just a minute by a 2v1. Waits for Sleeper to step out from behind the pillar, but misses the easy shot. A player not even paying attention to him. No roll comes out. Now we're going to see the retake in from Team Queso. Avexys, he gets the quick up A off. He knows his teammates are going to pressure onto SuMuNs. Both of those kills come through as well. 44-0 after the first hill. Maybe 44-1? 44-1. 44-1 after the first hill, but Rise already in point number 2. Cristalize, a little misroll right there. Still 2 bolts to work with. Gets the pick on the Sleeper, boy. You better keep your head down or you're going to lose it.
Oh, even just kind of making sure the splash damage makes nobody from TK. So it's able to move, and finally you see Rise getting a little proactive, trying to take one out, but Rushiez bites off more than he could chew. He gets dropped down, hopping over the cover on accident. No problem's gonna fall, but you could see that opened up that window of opportunity. Spreading that defense thin was the key. It was the goal for Team Queso, and it was gonna be a massive success in which they had the possibility of 40+ seconds to grab.
Cristalize here at the front side of the defense. He's on the front ledge of P2. 35 seconds left. Gets it to about, 68-40, but you're not going to stay there the entire time, bleed the hill dry. So they're going to continue to get a few points in this situation, but they're probably going to start rotating out here in the next 5 to 10 seconds. You'll probably see it about 15 seconds. They're going to leave that hill because they realize the Rise, they're going for an over-rotation toward P3. Chasing out the 1v1 is going to be, I believe, Sleeafer onto INZEM. Rushiez playing a little secret agent man back here. Got the 007 license to kill. Pulls the snub. Shots on the SuMuNs. Going to roll back. Try to get away from the secondary damage. Almost gets picked off there. But DeToX. Wow. DeToX with the cross-map save. And now Rushiez returns to the scene of the crime and says, let's put some more chalk outlines out there for all the detectives to scratch their head over. How did they get here?
That was a big chance for both SuMuNs and Cristalize to take the 2v1 into spawn, take Rushiez out, and really cement themselves towards the spawn point. They lose that fight. That allows the players to extend, get the frag grenades, and kind of backtrack to be able to defend this hill. 60 seconds possibly up for grabs unless Team Queso has something to say about it, and you got a player trying to stretch wide. But that's Sleeafer who gets taken down, and that causes the team kill coming out from DeToX. But with 2 players still on the hill for defense, this is Rise's chance to continue to accumulate the points.
Yeah, Rise is already back off a respawn, already back here in the defensive standpoint. 4 players of Team Queso knotted up in front of him. First, flash comes out. Frags are going to be answered back against him by Rushiez. He finds a teammate, finds an opponent. 3v3, now 3v2 as the down comes through, but they don't get the one-shot chunk on the ground. Don't get it to go. Avexys last alive for the squad. He'll get taken down and out. 30 seconds left on it, but again, the trash time is all well and good, but it ain't gonna get you no lead anytime soon. Rise, they're gonna start rotating into P4 toward that middle lane of the top half of the map. They do lose Rushiez there on the rotation. Sleeper trying to come in on a little sneaky angle here. Gets a secondary down. DeToX is in his face. Gets a quick cleanup there after the revive. Now problems with a double back A gets one. Avexys now mounted up against him on the opposite side. Gets taken out by the snub fire. Cristalize. Beautiful little rotation by Team Queso. And INZEM has to find some help here very quickly, or he is going to be absolutely shredded by the fire of multiple members from Team Queso.
And those members are problems, and SuMuNs with the melee over the top. INZEM's still going to be able to trade, get one. Avexys doing what he can, but that's going to be another trade that's not going to be successful. Sleeafer lending that helping hand, getting the torque bow, and trying to bring it back towards the hill so they can defensively set up. And you can see with Cristalize and problems in the hill, they're going to spot out the players respawning and getting right back into position for Rise to try to contest this hill yet again. So Sleeafer and the information his team is gathering is very vital and important. They just have to make sure that Avexys towards the north side does not slip past enemy lines, because that's all it takes is one moment, one distraction for them to blow things wide open.
I see them.
Sleeper here. 3 bolts left in his quiver. Gonna look forward to INZEM. Sees the misroll. Easy pick for Sleeper there as he waits for that player to kind of finish out that back somersault. Shoots over the top toward DeToX. Doesn't get that one. Puts the X button into work to get that revive off. Rise, they're a little discombobulated on this hill, and Team Queso could come back into this one. Beautiful job here.
Yep, doing a good job. Team Proactive
has really brought them back into this game, Jacob.
Proactivity right now out of Team Queso is something that we saw very early on out of Rise. They're just going left to right. They're taking the fights to Rise before they can work as a unit. As long as they continue to keep them spread out just like this, another triple kill for the team of Team Queso. That is exactly what they're going to need. If you look at the minimap, you already see half of TQ making the rotation on over to next. As long as these two players don't die for absolutely nothing, Team Queso will remain in a good spot, and that's why you see them backtracking. But with a player going down, this is a chance that Rise needs to take advantage of.
See what they do here is Problems will be on the back edge of this pillar here, trying to hold down the close respawn. He's going to take that first shot. Now up A's into Avexys. Gets one, goes for the flank on DeToX. That is a rightful trade. Problems is more than happy to take 2 with him to the grave to continue to try to give his team a little bit of an advantage and make Rise wait for their respawns here. Maybe at the close respawn, Rushiez goes down. Lancer fire out over the top, trying to get the kills here. Won't be able to get that one to go. Someone's going to go back to the top side of the ledge here. Shots down to Rushiez. Big damaging shots as well, but beautiful little rotation into the backside of the hill by Rise. They get one down. They've got another one crawling around. Cristalize, he's going to pick up that torque bow. But, I mean, I don't know exactly what he's going to be able to do with it, as he's going to have multiple members of Rise in front of him, and he might have gotten chased for just a moment. He's going to have to re-rotate, reset, and then come back into the fight with the active torques.
I like the paciencia coming out of Cristalize, the patience and ability to wait for his teammates to get back off a respawn, knowing that's going to be the impactful play. Smash damage on over to Rushiez, but a perfect flash and even better smoke to cloud the judgment, but that's not going to stop Sleeafer from getting one onto Avexys. They have the second mark and a player dead to right, but INZEM makes the play, able to stop and take out Cristalize, forcing a team kill out as well, but it's Problems and Sleeafer will have the last laugh. But like you keep saying, it's only trash time they're getting awarded with, and even though that's going to be enough to get close, it's not going to be enough to get the lead.
Hey, trash time sometimes leads to flash time, where you got to run across the map, throw your flash, and try to get into that next hill to go for that break, go for that reset. Beautiful 1v1 there, win by SuMuNs, and now INZEM goes down after the snub of Sleeafer. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you saw the tweet about it, but Gears Esports did let you know that this week you're trying to earn those points, vying for those pistols, the snub, the talon, and the DeToX. So make sure you keep us tabbed up all night long, keep the speakers loud so you can enjoy all the action of Gears Esports. Maybe earn yourself some more of those checkmate skins.
See, Avexys is trying to go in. 60 seconds. That's a ton of time up for grabs, but I like the way Avexys, at the very minimum, died in quick succession from the rest of his teammates, so he's not going to get that long, staggered respawn that you would typically get, but you need to be careful. Fresh off the respawn, he gets dropped yet again by himself in downtown, and you see 3 players trying to make a move versus 2 from Team Queso, but their defense is looking sound. They're able to set up, but losing someone is going to hurt a lot, and that goes back to back, losing Cristalize as well, and this is the chance that Rise need to continue to take advantage of. If you have the spawn point and you have the numbers, you have to go quick.
See what they do here is Problems is in that front ledge. Beautiful shot over the top, getting the full spread in the down. He might try to roll up and get the shot on a DeToX, but he misses it. Little bit of a rush shot there. 20 seconds left on the hill. Rise this time being the recipients of the trash time. Rushiez will wait just a white moment. Cristalize will pick up the new torque bow. INZEM trying to chase out there, won't get that secondary shot, but he's going to get flanked out, 2v1'd in the middle of the map. Now Cristalize is going to rejoin the fight. They're going to get 3v1'd on the first, 2v1 onto the second. That's 2 members of Rise down. Now a third goes out, and Rise are going to have to come off of respawn, reset, and try to come back in to the reset of the hills, Jacob. We have gone through the first full set, and it is 174-165 with Team Queso on top by 9.
Yeah, it's not the lead right now from Team Queso because it's only 9 at that point in time when the hill did change, but it's how Rise is playing. They're staggering each other's out. They're trying to be hero. They're not playing the calm, cool, collected gameplay that we see win them the major. And INZEM gets chopped out before the rest of the team yet again. Rushiez getting aggressed off knowing that he is out of position. Team Queso is doing everything right here, but on the other side, Rise, they're making rookie mistake.
Looking for the shot here, misses that first torque as DeToX bounces around. He's going to drop the flash at Sleeafer's feet, trying to get the shot on him. Won't be able to get that. He's still going to go down. Second player down as well, going for a revive. It's going to be Rushiez finally answering back with it down on his SuMuNs, with Sleeafer with it down onto Avexys. Keeps Rise a little bit off balance here, 204-165. 39-second differential now, 30 seconds to their name and counting as they continue to just rack up the scoreline here. Back at the reset at P1. Cristalize in a 1v1 now. He's going to get first shot on. He's going to get tagged up, though, in the 2v1, taken down. Avexys, or excuse me, DeToX tries to catch one, gets the down, but SuMuNs, he's going to answer back with a shot of his own. And Team Queso right back into the action, right back into the thick of it, my man.
Avexys got to be careful, though. There's another player there waiting to kind of push. 3v3 as everyone's trying to get in position. A fourth player from both the teams slowly to Lancer back and trying to wheel that defense towards the back end. Problem's going to get dropped first. Nobody taken out just yet, but SuMuNs and Sleeafer will fall, leaving Cristalize by himself, but he able to get a trade onto one. 10 seconds left on this hill, but there's a team kill that goes down. Problems takes out Cristalize, but if you look, this is the chance with only one player there in the form of Rushiez by himself on the other side of the map. This is their chance to strike, but Rise quickly sense that being the case and try to put up that defensive formations. That way, Team Queso has to make a 3v3 push.
Look at the way that Rushiez is kind of just aligning himself back and forth, left to right, left to right. He's basically trying to call numbers, try to grab at least a little bit of intel on both sides. Beautiful little quick shot. Secondary reset shot after the help from Avexys. 3 up, 3 down. INZEM versus SuMuNs. And SuMuNs, I love you. You might have been the king of the 1v1 in Gears 4, but I ain't seen nobody throw haymakers like INZEM in the middle of the ring. And I caster curse him mid-sentence, Jacob.
Chase, that's what you shall receive. Just a quick over the shot by SuMuNs. Sleeafer with a huge flank, taking out not only Rushiez with the torque bow, but it trades on both sides. Avexys falls, so does SuMuNs, so does Sleeafer. As Cristalize and a teammate is trying to work together in tandem to get the 30 seconds left. At this stage in the game, Colin, that scrap trash time with 30 seconds left will play the difference.
See what they end up doing is SuMuNs is going to rotate back over here. He's going to get slid up on by Avexys. Beautiful little kill there to try to set up the rotation over onto this side of the map. Not sure what we see in this moment. Who's going to be able to get into this position, ready to take this next fight. Again, Avexys just waiting on that back cover with that flash grenade out. And Jacob, I mean, this is going to have to be kind of a concise push. You can't give up but so much time over to the side of Rise.
Yeah, Rise is going to try to make a proactive push here towards the top. Rushiez with a misroll, though. Gets caught off balance, forced to backtrack. He knows teammates are on the way in the form of INZEM. First blood is going to come in. Sleeafer's going to get dropped. You see the pressure from around the map. Team Queso feels like they have nowhere to go but forward, but that's going to be their demise. They all get dropped in the blink of an eye. Quick cleanup from DeToX and the rest of Rise, which gets them the time on this hill, and you can see the proactivity that I'm talking about. INZEM stretching out. A trade in downs. A trade in downs, Colin. This could be so much right now as it's going to get chaotic.
This is going to be a little bit of a mad dash in the next few moments because it is 250. Only 40 seconds left on this hill, but every second counts because it gives you that much greater of a lead going into that final possible hill. Avexys finds one. Good little roadie strafe, gets the down on the second. DeToX tries to answer back, gets the shot for the down, but doesn't get the kill on either player. And at this point, Jacob, I don't know if you leave them to their own devices, leaving them to 270 if they bleed it all the way out, because you put yourself behind the 8 ball. You got to be able to hold on to that next hill for an entire eternity, it would feel like.
Yeah, I don't know if we're on a seesaw. I don't know if we're playing ping pong, because back and forth. That's where we're going right now between Team Queso and Rise. But this could come down to this very last and final hill, as Team Queso is looking like they're getting every single second out of the last. But that time that you're spending draining that last hill dry could be the reason why you're losing this fight right here, right now. You're outnumbered. You're out positioned right here. And this could be the chance with the high ground, with the frags to Rise to seal the deal right here, right now.
Yeah, they're going to have to hold on for 49 of these 75 seconds, and that is a tough task to ask for any pro league teams. See what they're able to do here. Is this going to be DeToX looking forward at Sleeafer over the top of the cover, but a beautiful up A by INZEM finds him a secondary shot. And now we'll see what they can do as Avexys plays back, plays for the damage, gets the down, gets the kill. See here, Rushiez looking forward. He sees that mark. The intel is paramount. Time enough basically for one more real retake for Team Queso. They've got to be concise. They have to do it in the next 15 to 20 seconds if they want to try to finish it on this hill.
And you can see the spread right now. Sleeafer going in towards the middle, oversteps because he meets Avexys there. 3v3 for the actual hill. Right now, it's going to get a contest in, but 16 seconds is all Rise needs. And that's why you see Avexys playing with that line towards the middle. Do I get over aggressive? Do I try to distract while my teammate plays the defensive spot on the other end? But for now, with 30 seconds left, Team Queso are banking on being able to hold them off, bring it below that 16-second mark, and then try to get aggressive from there. But Rise can win at any moment here.
This is going to be a DeToX still holding that mid lane. Team Queso more than happy to kind of sit here and let this neutralize out for a while. Give them a chance to rotate over and win a rotation fight. Snub reloaded. DeToX making sure he has all of the ammo needed. He's going to back out of the hill for a moment, try to reset in the middle of the map. Not sure what he's going to do here. Rush is going to drop that flash. He's going to drop a second one there and not get anything to go as they rotate out of this position. Rush is going to go down. Sleeafer is going to try to stay alive and allow Cristalize to try to go for a flank. Big body shot onto him by DeToX. DeToX will pick the new torque. The next hill will spawn here in the next 5 to 10 seconds. Got to be careful not to give up the new rotation and not to give up the new hill. With 16 seconds left, this is the last gasp effort for Team Queso on map 1.
You saw everybody from Rise just backtracking their steps. And meanwhile, Team Queso went forward, but they went forward by themselves. They went forward in a non-team effort. That's going to put them with their backs up against the wall. Problems gets dropped. 3 players trying to bum rush in, but with frags coming out, that's going to clog them and stagger them out for Rise to be able to get the last remaining point and go up 1-0 in the series.
Gotta be able to close out series no matter how great Team Queso was in that map through the mid portions. They finished the reset of the hills, Jacob, ahead by 9. And on the new point 1, they take a 39-second lead. But then it was all Rise just flooding into P2, flooding into P3, getting themselves back in front, giving Team Queso a sliver of hope toward the end of P3, but taking over P4 long enough to force out the neutralization and then the easy rotation into P4, just sitting back, relaxing, top side of the ledge, sitting pretty. They might as well put on some shades and gotten a suntan, baby, because they made that last rotation look oh so easy.
Yeah, it almost makes me believe for a moment there that Rise might have been playing with their food, because you saw when they were able to get such a lead in the beginning of the game, they locked them down. They played close together. They crossed for each other. But when you saw Team Queso making those strides and making those moves in terms of coming back, you can see that they were just catching these players of Rise off guard left and right. But as soon as Rise realized their backs were against the wall, timing was no longer on their side, they went back into the team style of play, specifically in that last hill when you saw multiple members, including Rushiez, just back off and play for Team Queso to rush into those shotguns.
What you're going to see in these highlights, Jacob, is just a ton of CQC in a lot of these situations. You're probably going to see some fancy-dancy torque shots, but for the most of it, Ritual really boiled down in the highlight reel department to just winning your fights, getting those big bricks, getting those chunks, and winning these really intense, what we've come to know and love about Gears esports battles, where it's just Nasher on Nasher, whose movement, whose shot, whose strafe is better than their opponents. And what we're getting to witness are 2 of the best teams in the world going at it and putting on a hell of a show for everybody early on a Tuesday afternoon in Pro League.
Yeah, kind of what you're seeing really take form here, especially by Rise with their win streak that they've been able to kind of accumulate throughout the past couple of weeks. It's the calculated aggression in which they put on the teams, the proactivity. Even if they're defensively trying to lock down a hill, you see as soon as they catch the numbers on their side, they're not afraid to begin to turn that defense into offense, put the numbers on their side and continue to keep it that way. And when their backs are up against the wall, once again, it's the calculated aggression. They figure out which point of the map they want to push, which part of the defense they want to break through, and that's exactly how they try to attack their opponents. And that's why I said, looking at maps 1, 3, and 5, very, very dangerous, picked by Rise. But even if you go into the Clocktower map on execution, picked by Team Queso, you're still allowing Rise to have so much flexibility in their game plan.
I mean, I'm loving how this is setting up. We're going into a Clocktower map 2 on an execution that I have seen Rise be paramount on. They have been at the peak for many, many of their outcomes of this map, of Clocktower, whether it be the rotations for fragmentation, whether it be the flanks, whether it be just playing straight up, throwing smokes, getting a little loose, trying to get the long shot out and get shots onto somebody. I have seen Rise do more on this map than just about any other team. The playbook for them is extraordinarily deep if they wish to go that deep into the playbook. But at the same time, you've still got to just outclass them. And that's one of the things that I think is hardest to do against Rise with how good the past few weeks DeToX, INZEM, Rushiez, and Avexys have been playing. Just being more talented than them, just hitting more shots than them is a tall enough order, my man. It's like, it's too much for, I mean, you might as well order a barrel of that bad boy if you're trying to just be bigger than they are.
It's like a bucket of endless fries at the end of the day. You can just dig deep and pick out any player of Rise, and you got a potential player of the week. But that just goes to show with the last two events, them winning the second one, the most recent one, they're putting everything they have into these final Years of War season that we have on our hands. They want to not only be champions, they want to be back-to-back champions. They want to cement their legacy. And Avexys not only wants to do it for himself, he wants to do it to the boys on his left and his right, and he wants to do it for the beautiful organization, because as soon as Rise came into the scene, it was Avexys at the helm.
Without a doubt, Avexys has really helped Rise just thrive and survive in Gears Esports. Big shout out to Rise, especially for being here so long with us. I know so many players in-game rock those skins, rock that emblem, rock that blood spray. I mean, you know it. Their fandom runs deep, deep as the goddamn Mariana Trench, as the abyss, my man. They are everywhere and anywhere that you don't expect them to see. They're willing to pop out from behind a pillar and be like, oh, you like Rise too? And I'm like, oh my God, where did you come from, brother? This is my living room.
Oh, and I missed you. I missed you so much. But this is one of those strategies right out of the gate. Rushiez going down low. He is very, very telling of the strategies for Rise. They're going to play the Lancer, try to stop the players of Team Queso on their tracks, and allow for Rushiez to get those frags up. Even if he comes out dud, he's discombobulating his opponents out of position for them to get not one, but first two eliminations. Make it 3 as they continue to rack up the score, continue to rack up the elims. And there goes number 4. SuMuNs gets dropped, and Rise strikes first.
You see how hard Avexys kicked that man right there? He went barreling down the steps, my man. He went, ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. I mean, it was like one of those
field goal.
them comedy, like back in Tom and Jerry, where Tom would be falling down them steps. You know how he hit everyone on the way down? That's what that man just did right there.
He wound it up. He had a running head start with that kick just to make sure he hit the field goal at the end of the day. He might have scored 3, but he definitely scored 1 for Rise right out of the gate, and you can see SuMuNs. That nifty reaction shot is very good because you see INZEM is marked out, and they show that he's staggered to go up top. Rushiez grabbing frags, lets them know there's 2 players late to the top fight.
And that's going to allow Sleeafer the ability to try to pick that long shot and get out, but DeToX is going to hit that first shot. Big chunk there. Cristalize takes his advantage of the back pillar. Big double shot there for the back gate. Gets the secondary chunk. Rushiez gets the cleanup, though, with the fragmentation. SuMuNs, he's going to get his own kill here onto DeToX, but he's going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Stepping out is one player of Rise. I believe that had to be INZEM toward that back prison pillar, and it is indeed INZEM. Now it's a 2v1. Flash all the way over to the back. Doesn't get the stun, and Sleeafer misses the shot again. He's getting crimmed up on, but he hits the big heady when it counts. 1v1, Rushiez versus Sleeafer.
It's going to be a big moment for Sleeafer here. Goes for the active shot on the side. Reaction shot to try to keep Rushiez guessing. Doesn't get it. Doesn't even land the damage, but that's Rushiez dead on his heels. Goes for another big shot. Misses it, but Rushiez not backing down. Neither is Sleeafer. Both of them weak from the shots, but it's Sleeafer who comes out on top in the 1v2.
Incredible 1v1 win there by Sleeafer. After the missed shots, you thought he might have been shaky, but there won't nothing shaky about that final 2v1. Let's see that headshot one more time, bouncing in left, right, and down because your body fell to the ground. That shot went through the cerebral cortex of INZEM and said, boy, why you even trying me like that?
He risked it for the biscuit and got a 2-piece instead. That's what you got to do if you're a guy like Sleeafer. It's where last season it was not all on your shoulders, but that's what it seemed like. Now you have multi-time champion. Someone's on your side to try to alleviate the pressure. Strategy doesn't change. Sniper doesn't get picked up, but that's good for Avexys and the rest of Rise, especially since they're able to net 2 eliminations right out of the gate. Make it 3 in a row. DeToX gets 2 as the full-on flawless round from Rise.
DeToX didn't even do nothing fancy right there. He bot walked, hit the first spread, and then as that player tried to run away, he hit it with up. Watch this. Bang. There's a spread for you. Hold up. Hits the second one, bounces in for the back end. Now watch this. Watch this. Just slides off that back cover. Don't even come off of it. Just slides into it. Lets the camera angle that shot out for him. DeToX with a clinic. My man was a clinician. Call him the Dr. DeToX at this point because the medicine he's serving up, shoo, he's got a cure for all your highlight reel blues.
If he has a cure for this round, especially with INZEM getting dropped early. So does Avexys. Rushiez able to get one to try to even it up. But a 2v3 will continue as DeToX holding the top side of the map by himself. Frag grenade for separation. Sleeafer taking a ton of damage. There goes Rushiez getting back-to-back elims, but DeToX is going to fall. SuMuNs gets back-to-back on his own to tie this up at 2 rounds apiece. And that one was definitely a nail-biter that Team Queso was able to win.
That's still a big fight, in my opinion, where Rise was trying to even it up. They throw the 2 fragmentations, don't get the kill with either one. I don't even know how much damage they got, but they got that first down. Rushiez goes up to pick the downed player up, tries to go for the meat shield. Not sure exactly if he should have baited that player, if that was the play, but I know in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the battle, you always second guess. 2020 is the perfect vision in hindsight. You can Monday morning quarterback all you want, but Problems this time tries to check, rushes to the bottom, going for those fragmentation grenades, going over the top now. It's going to be Cristalize, picking up the long shot, doesn't get that shot onto him. Looks for the shot onto Avexys, doesn't get that one either. Here comes one frag as they roll out, gets one. Second frag to the backside of the pillar, won't be able to get the other one. Cristalize with a body shot though, tries to settle the tea kettle of Rushiez. Meanwhile, the other side of the stairwell, Cristalize going to find the 2 Nashers of both INZEM and DeToX. Now the snub fire, picture perfect and true. The 90-degree angle comes through. INZEM chasing, and they are facing another round defeat. Team Queso, they're back on the back foot, 3-2.
Even with Team Queso losing a player early on to a great frag grenade coming out from Rushiez, it was their indecision, I think, that really cost them in that 3v4. You saw a player sit back, trying to put off shots with the sniper, but nobody else on the team was being able to follow up. And as soon as it looked like they were stepping forward, that's when everybody from Rise came crashing down those steps to be able to clean up those eliminations. But nothing changing so far from Rise. Still sending Rushiez down low, but it's Team Queso who are failing to find an answer back in a convincing fashion.
Here comes the flashes to answer the smokes. DeToX, he's going to try to get those shots on, but no push for the long shot from the side of Team Queso. And Rushiez doesn't use the fragmentations early. Simply holds them in his back pocket. Taking a look here, all Team Queso has left is a flash, and I believe 2 flashes, as a matter of fact. Sleeafer and SuMuNs, both with the flash grenade, and Avexys, he's going to rotate down to the bottom. He's giving up the protection up top because they know they have the fragmentation grenades in Rushiez's hands. Here comes the flashes. Here comes the nades back. INZEM's going to get taken out, but Rushiez, he's going to find one from each squad. One from each squad. They've got to stay alive long enough to try to buy Avexys time with a torque to get up to the top. Won't be able to find anything. Goes for the active. Will get some splash, but no stick. Now goes for a second, but Problems misses the secondary shot. This is going to be Avexys bouncing around again. Goes for the little corner shot. Gets the splash damage onto one. Rotates back up to the top, but he gets taken down. Beautiful round by Team Queso, 3-3.
That was grade A effort by Avexys, though, trying to stay alive. He gets the splash damage on one side, lands a little bit of a shot on the other. Only thing I see he really did wrong, Colin, is stayed too close to that corner, went for the back A. If he would have played it wide, I can really picture him at the minimum getting a down, but that goes to show at 3 rounds apiece from both of these teams how close, how down to the wire it actually is.
Coming into round number 7 here. Rise looking to get another round on the board, try to take their lead back. Rushiez down to the bottom side for the fragmentation grenades. Avexys is going to get the down onto SuMuNs. Back A by DeToX. Won't get the kill, but will get the down. Shoots that other player through his teammate. Avexys goes down to the backside. This is going to be Rushiez. 1 nade out. We'll find SuMuNs. It's going to be a 2v1 now. Sleeper's going to pick the new long shot, and we'll get very heavily damaged. Full red. Looks Reactor on INZEM, but he goes down and dead. Rise will go back up 4-3.
See, like Rushiez there with the pistol, putting out the brunt of that damage, making sure that INZEM can honestly do whatever he wants as long as he doesn't get close enough to be in that one-shot chunk range, which he did keep his spacing there. That's exactly all he had to do. Give very little options of counterplay coming out of Team Queso. And with Rise doing the same exact thing, sending Rushiez down low, this is the round I would expect, if any, for Team Queso to try to change things up.
Coming into the next round, Rushiez is going to go to the bottom side. It looks like Team Queso is going to send 2 players down here to challenge him at the fragmentations with a player over the top side of the ledge, adding in the extra damage, but Problems comes out on top. No matter what it was that Rise was trying to do, they couldn't get the downs or the kills to come through. Rise is going to have to go for a revive here. DeToX with the back A. Won't be able to find either of them. They're bouncing around. It looks like DeToX is going to find one more before he finds himself out of this round. Tied up yet again. Best of 3 going into 9, 10, and 11.
Yeah, you cannot let Rushiez continuously get those frags, because even though each and every single round he's not actually getting elimination, he's making the players of Team Queso look like acrobats, the way they're tossing, turning, jumping just to stay alive. And that is all Rise needs, a player out of position. And that's why I sense that switch up around. But now I sense it right back coming out from Rise. A good switch up, even if it starts with Rushiez going down low. It's the little differences that they're going to make, but it's Team Queso making a big difference. 4 up top, all out aggression.
It's going to be Rushiez grabbing the frags again. Nobody challenging him this time. All out aggression, as you said, from the side of Team Queso. They're going to pick the long shot. DeToX trapped behind the back pillar. SuMuNs with a beautiful angle here. Big kills coming through. This is going to be Rushiez now trying to help out in a 2v2 situation. Backside of the pillar, catches one, goes to the double bounce, but there it is. Team Queso take the lead after back-to-back round wins. Now Rise is forced to be perfect for 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, I think Team Queso have caught on. Rushiez going down low, bringing both of those frag grenades, because typically you do see Rushiez throw one from down low, expecting that all-out push, but that's more of a random frag. That's why he's trying to bring him back. But with now having to go up against map point onto Team Queso, they're going to send 4 up top and then probably go back to something strange down low.
Rushiez down low is going to get checked by at least 2 players. Throws that flash shot. Is going to get completely tagged up here. Lancer angle from the front side, trying to find some extra help for him. Gets that first down, now finds the second down. Cleans up both of those players. 4v2 on the map. That's going to be Cristalize, tagged up and taken down. Now 4v1. Sleeafer, take as many as you can to the grave with you, because you're going to a round 11 whether you like it or not, my friend. Down and out. 5-5, round 11.
I read that one so wrong, Colin. I really thought Rise is going to switch it up. Rise is probably one of the perfect players and perfect teams for down low. They realized the side it was on. As long as Rushiez can get in towards frags, you'll have a cross from a top and a cross from down low, to where he doesn't even need to hit full spreads. And you tell Rushiez, just hit anything, just hit some shots. That's exactly what he's going to do. He got 2 of those 2 first eliminations there for his squad.
All the players up top this time. Nobody playing for fragmentations. This is going to be a full 4v4. DeToX is going to get chunked out early. I mean, that's going to be a full red. That's going to be Sleeafer picking up the long shot backside of the pillar. Rushiez is going to go down. They try to rotate over the quick little revive onto him. DeToX goes back-to-back pillar, gets body shotted. Sleeafer goes for the check there at the top side of the fragmentations. Avexys might be stuck here. He might be stuck here backside of that van with the top side of the ledge being hovered over by Sleeafer.
Trying to figure out what the play would be, but I don't have to think about it at all. Sleeafer's going to show me what it is. Avexys tries to throw a cheeky frag, not able to make it towards the top side. He's going to get downed out. 4v2 continue with map point at the helm, and Sleeafer connects with another headshot onto Rushiez. DeToX, barring any hero plays, to be the last stand, and he's going to fall. So are Rise, and we now have a tied series 1-1 with Team Queso striking back. But Colin, how will the rest of the series play out with 3 maps to go? There's going to be so much left to be answered after this quick commercial break.
Jacob and VPR just got an excessive heat warning, and I think it's this matchup because it's all tied up 1-1, boy.
103 degrees right now, Colin. No, I'm not talking about Team Queso. I'm not talking about Rise, just where I live. But this one is definitely, like you said, heating up. Map number 1 going down to the wire. Map number 2, 6-5. Much closer than I think it would have ever have been, but Team Queso doing such a good job time in and time out. But that's what goes to show. Cheese is growing on me, Colin. I've been eating more pizza. I made myself a pizza grilled cheese today. I think they're definitely growing on me as a team.
Look, my dude, you got to be careful letting cheese grow on you, because then stuff grows on cheese, and that could just be bad. I mean, look, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. I'm not the sharpest. I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, but mold ain't good for nobody in real life. I'll tell you that much. I ain't no witcher, but if you turn into a monster boy, I might have to put you down.
I hope I don't turn into nothing. I hope I don't turn into anything other than these superstar players making superstar plays. It might have taken Sleeafer some time to heat up, but the plays that we saw really to close out the match has to be that boost of confidence, not only to him, but the 3 players around. Going into Vasgar, I think you need all the confidence you can get. It's going to be very, very aggressive, and I think Rise losing that match, they're going to realize we have to put a fire under our beehives. We cannot let our undefeated record slip through our fingers.
It's going to be tough to hold on to it. Going into Vasgar, like you said, it can get a little dicey. You can get a little aggressive. You can have that old boxing match if you put a power weapon down at the tank side of the map. Hell, you can even have one if you put one down at the hella chopper side of the map, man. That AH-47 is only over there for decoration, but whatever weapon you put over there, that thing can do damage. So just be aware there's 2 sides of the map. You can always play around, but Jacob, you know these first couple of rounds, it's all about trying to feel your opponent out. Are they going 3v3 over at the homes? They're going to try to go for the 2v1 over at B, and you've got to try to over-rotate home to home. It's all about kind of picking and choosing your battles, figuring out where your opponent is kind of rotating their forces so that you have the right answer. That's why I've always loved Vasgar. I've always thought it's a brilliantly decided map, and it's always been, you know, kind of the stalwart. I think Vasgar, correct me if I'm wrong, Vasgar's our oldest map now. I mean, District, Vasgar, and Training Grounds?
I think it has to be, because
if you take District and Training Grounds, we're at the E-League.
Exactly.
They were at E-League.
The only thing is, like,
they cheated.
Training Grounds went through a thing where people didn't pick it for quite some time. You know what I mean? District has always been there. And Vasgar, I feel like if players can have a 5-map Vasgar, they would have a 5-map Vasgar series.
Every now and again, you might get one of those. Avexys goes down early, followed by Rushiez. Team Queso swarming early in round number 1 to go for the home-to-home stretch, but now they're spread thin across the map. One player's going to try to challenge up the 1v1 at B. Hops over the top. Easy chunk by INZEM to keep the B hill solidified in the favor of Rise. DeToX here toward the home. Has to be careful not to get taken out, because he's going to have somebody spawn up behind him in the next 2 seconds. There's going to be SuMuNs, maybe with the Lancer right out on the hip. DeToX, that was a little sneaky roll. I mean, saves him, but it's going to be another 3v2 here at the home hill.
Yep, numbers and taking advantage as quick as possible is important. Rushiez going in with the trade is going to be equally better, because that forces a player to rotate into the mid. It opens up the possibility of getting a decap on the hill, but Avexys trying to return to the scene of the crime. INZEM getting spotted out early on, and a fresh respawn Rushiez should be more than enough to push them back off their hill.
It's going to be a hard day of fought here at the home hill. Flash grenades are going to go down. Problems doesn't get up 8 immediately, but he will eventually get meat shielded up by Rushiez. Quick switch of your screen. You still see the outcome, though, going in favor of Rise. And now DeToX is a 1v1 here against Sleeafer. Sleeafer with the rollback. Gets tagged up pretty heavily from across the map, and now from the shot from DeToX. And all he had to do was play his life. Rushiez looking to try to solidify that easy triple cap domination. Problems maybe goes for the B hill, but he's going to get meleeed and stunned out. Round 1 over to Rise.
Yeah, I don't know if he was going for the B hill, trying to be a hero. Either way, that was the wrong play. And those are the moments, those little missteps against a team like Rise. It's exactly all they need. And for that 6-5 victory, those plays that Sleeafer made to bring the momentum from map 2 on over to map 3, I think they've chopped that one dead. In fact, in this round, I think Rise was able to build up some momentum of their own. But when it comes to weapon placements, Colin, you know as well as I do, it's going to be typical. It's going to be DeToX to Rise to start us off. And then from there, I think TK is going to build up to retro. But I think Rise has the potential, because they do it more times than not, to keep the DeToX into the hands of Avexys while building up the talent.
Early opportunity here for Rise to try to get a dominating lead as they come into round number 2, looking to try to just get the same scenario, get that 2-to-1 hill advantage, and then put Team Queso in a bad spot. They're already there, 2v1 at the B hill. They're going to have the quick pick on that, but Rushiez the DeToX finally finds the other headshot to get the kill, to be a thrill, and this is going to be Problems playing back. He's going to get flashed out. Now pulls the DeToX yet again, pulls that little left-handed shot out. Rushiez tries to guess that he'd come off the cover again, but now Avexys finds himself in a bad scenario. He's going to go down. So right now, Team Queso will have the 2-to-1 at hill advantage for just a moment, but the 2 players from Rise that they're going to get caught between a rock, a hard place. Dwayne Johnson and Mount Rushmore. Problems finds one, and now he finds the other. All 4 players from Rise off and skedaddling, but the 2 coming off a respawn will head to B to try to play defense.
And this is where, if you're Team Queso, you almost want to try to set up. You figure out where those 2 players are. That's going to be up to both SuMuNs and Problems, marking out and let them know, hey, they're going to contest us at the home hill. Hey, they're going over towards their neutral. And then from there, Team Queso just has to play the game of rotations. But now that everybody's spawned up, they're trying to backtrack. First down is going to come through, cleaned up by SuMuNs, trying to go back-to-back, but that's DeToX making the driving force. Perfect flash from Rushiez as well to keep Rise in this game.
And now they're going to push straight over to the C hill. They're going to try to get into that position, try to get the point lead to stay in their favor. As you see them with the decap and the quick little retake. Avexys to the front side of the pillar. It'll be a 3v3 over here right now. Beautiful smokes come out to try to cloud up the sight lines of Rise. They don't even get the cap finished for, I mean, more than a second before they're in there for the neutralization, Jacob.
Yeah, it's so close right now that cap is going to have to do just enough, and a decap on the other end as players are getting dropped left and right. No eliminations just yet, but another player is going to get dropped. This time it's Sleeafer who gets cleaned up, traded immediately after, with Avexys getting taken out. As 2 more players of Team Queso are going to get dropped, which goes and gives up that second hill and the already lead back on over to Rise, and the pressure to Cristalize on the other side of the map. 2 great shots from the DeToX. That one's going to be cleaned up in the blink of an eye by INZEM, and a possible neutral hill under siege for Rise for a triple cap domination.
See what happens with Problems pushing forward. He's going to try to get into that C hill, go for the neutralization, double shot down, and now a second player stamps up, and he's going to get double shot down as well. Rise, they need 3 seconds to finish this triple cap domination. Cristalize is going to try to up A into the hill, but not in time. Not enough.
Not enough at all. 2-0. So all that momentum, especially in the second half where they won back-to-back rounds. So honestly, put it to 5-4 at the time on the Clocktower. Goes right out the window. Now they really have to figure out with their weapon placements. Rise already has it figured out. They want to keep the DeToX, that pack-a-punch from a distance intact. With already 2 back-to-back initials going to the side, Sleeafer and the rest of Team Queso are putting down that weapon towards the mid-ground, something that you kind of already talked about towards the tank.
That tank fight's always a crucial one. Team Queso will have the side of the map where you usually take the back side of the tank. Rise, they will not have any kind of incendiary to throw back over to the back edge of the tank to try to stop you from holding this position. But Cristalize will have the 90-degree look. Anybody coming down those stairs is going to get flashed. Now he's going to back up into that position, go for the back A there. Won't be able to get that one. Secondary flash comes in. The stun comes through just in time to stop him from getting the revive. But Sleeafer realizes he's all by his lonesome. He's got his skedaddle on out of there, boy.
He has to be careful, though, because even though he's up there, has the high ground, no weapon, no hill. They can easily continue to swarm, but someone's just trying to be that hope and that stand on the other side of the map. And you can see already in the minimap, 3 versus 1. Timing is not there. It's Problems and Cristalize trying to rotate on over. They're not going to be able to defend the hill, but someone's going to get defense that he needs. He's going to be able to stop and dead in his tracks with Rushiez going down. INZEM out of position. 2 different 1v1s close together, and it's Avexys going to fall. That puts the pressure on INZEM, who will also fall, but DeToX by himself with the sniper does have that last stand potential.
This is going to be DeToX, hops over the top, won't drop. He's going to look back over his ledge, try to get a shot there. Won't hit the body shot on either player. 1v1 at the backside of the tank. Triple cap domination being threatened. 1 down comes through. Rise, though, they're going to find a quick little kill over here and a secondary. DeToX, as long as he's alive over here, it's going to be harder and harder for them to solidify that B hill, but it looks like Rise has run rough shot over the 2 players holding the home hill, and now they're going to go for their own 2-to-1 hill cap advantage.
Yeah, they just won a 3v2 towards C side of the map. and they're already trying to extend. Instead of being heroes on the neutral, they're just taking that secondary home hill away from Team Queso and forcing them essentially to make a move while they're getting proactive on the other side. Stuns getting dished out along with damage from DeToX. First down's gonna come through. Make it 2 in a row. Avexys and DeToX, the duo of duos, making it happen on one side, but Rushiez and INZEM on the other. If they can win this fight, it will be a triple cap domination, and they do. And for that, they get themselves that 3-0 lead they were looking for.
And Rise dominating here in map 3. They got to feel good about it after that last map falls out of their grasp in the very final round, finally going down to Team Queso and even having this tied up. You know, Rise, they don't want to just hold on to that lead. They don't want it to just be a 5-0 Pro League, series. They want to be perfect through the end of this entire split. They want to be perfect going into the final major of Gears 5 Esports.
Perfect at the end of the day, and honestly, being able to hoist that trophy, getting that prize money, for some of these players is the bonus. They've been in the game for so long. It's passion. It's just winning at the end of the day, especially the very last event. That means so much to a lot of people. As a 3v3 is going to go down at the actual hill, but I say it only because Rushiez is making those sneaky plays on the other side. That puts the pressure to win this fight, but with 2 players going down, this could be over before it begins.
This round could very well be over before it begins. B-Hill getting capped up. Nobody's in the Bay Area. That is a Mr. Krabs if I've ever seen one, Jacob. They got that triple cap off in the nick of time to stop all the players from Queso before they could even rechow back over to B. What a beautiful game plan. Concocted deep in the brains of the one and only Affinity. You know he's got to be smiling ear to ear.
Yep. You can already see how that one went down. It was because Rushiez towards the back end, he overextended, realizing nobody was there. So as soon as those first eliminations came through, that basically sealed the deal, because then it was a 3v2 on that side of the map. But you see everything getting upgraded left, right, and center. But Rise, something that they've been doing for at least a couple of splits now, is keeping that bull talk in play for as long as possible.
And they've been one of the best teams on the planet using that bull talk. Headshots left and right, putting out extra damage, excess damage, if you will, on anybody that tries to challenge up to them. 2 players to the backside of the tank. Team Queso, they're going to throw their flashes early, try to get in a position to try to challenge INZEM. Incendiary out over the top, but Sleeafer tries to roll past the fire and flames of INZEM, but he goes down and out. Now rolls into the middle, gets taken down. Snub fire from INZEM, might find the kill as well. The flank from Rise is there. They go for another little Mr. Krabs play, but thankfully this time SuMuNs sees it coming, and he'll get over to the mid-neutral E-Hill.
I don't know if he made the call, though. Sleeafer just running in like he has the last chance to be the hero for Team Queso, and he just gets ended and back on to respawn. That's just going to be one of those plays that you could not have those happen against the elite, against the best of the best, especially when you are down 4 rounds to none. But with that play, you see someone still continuously moving over inch by inch on the other side of the map, and you can see the proactivity from Rise. They get the call from DeToX that there's 2 players here, and this is where they're going to try to take their 3v2.
Trying to take their 3v2 on this side of the map. Avexys hits a big body shot there. Now secondary L trigger onto SuMuNs. Shot over the top. Gets another down. They'll get both of these kills, holding on to the 2v1 hill advantage. Back at the home hill, Cristalize gonna get shot on. Rushiez bot walks up to him and lets him have it with the second shot. Says your movement matters not to me as long as I hit the spread necessary to put you downtown. Julie Brown, it's gonna be a 2v1 at the D hill, now 3v1, as only SuMuNs is left alive here at the home hill of Rise. Down and out. Queso will have another chance off of respawn, but they are down by 100 points and counting now.
And the way Rise is playing, they're playing like they're going to win off of points. They're not trying to solidify that triple cap domination. You see Avexys going from one end to the other, trying to help everybody that he sees fit. And even though INZEM takes the brunt of that damage, you see there's another player in the form of Avexys being that last stand. Still 2-1. Triple cap domination sounding off because of Rushiez and his daring efforts on the other end. Downs, bolt-on shots, everything that Rise is doing right to pile it on top of one, on top of the other. Even though they do not get this victory on the other end of the map, they get the victory overall with a 5-0 shutout over Team Queso.
Beautiful map 3. Rise really rising to the occasion here in map 3, putting Team Queso on the back foot definitively, going up 2-1, going into a map 4, a Reactor that Rise has been exquisite on at times in their history, in their memorial of their Pro League advantages. This could get ugly quickly, Jacob.
No, I definitely could, especially 5-0. And that goes to show, not obviously that Rise is just firing on all cylinders. They believe that Clocktower map was a little bit of a mess up on their end, running the same strategy over and over, not running to switch it up and show the tricks underneath their sleeve. That one was a throwaway. But now 5-0, showing that they're back on track, the unmovable force, the train that won't stop. That's a scary sight, because then we go over to Reactor, CQC style map that's really going to allow Rushiez and DeToX to continue to get loose.
Just punching them in the head right now. That's literally what it looked like. There were times where Team Queso, they were putting their hands up. The ref was like, "What's your name? Where you at?" And they were like, "Hell if I know. It could be District, could be Training Grounds." It was Vasgar. Rise was just relentless round after round, and that's the thing that they got to do against a team like Team Queso. Nobody has a chance to formulate a plan. Nobody has a chance to rotate around the map and find an answer to what it is Rise wants to do. That's the beauty of execution at the end of the day, is that you have a game plan and you can enact it round after round. You can go and try to go forth and try to put your opponents in worse and worse situations. Whereas with Escalation and Control, you've got to deal with multiple looks, multiple variations. That's where things start to get a little dicey for teams that maybe need to be able to have that kind of slow down, methodical, enact our plan pacing. Going into Reactor, I think Queso has to get an early advantage and has to be able to enact that early advantage to try to put Rise in a bad spot.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to start getting a little bit more aggressive and proactive in a lot of these situations, because you think back to Control, the first ritual map that we're able to see, very similar, not exact, but with the CQC in mind, that Rise came out of the gate swinging, right? Team Queso was able to fire back with the proactive plays, catching Rise off guard and continuously staggering out their numbers. It wasn't an overall deep strategy. It wasn't them pulling out trick underneath their sleeve, because even though you add multi-time champion summons to the roster and they get exponentially better, you didn't add what the team needed, an IGL, a strategist, somebody to bring depth to the squad. So if it boils down to a longer game mode, a longer stalled out hill after hill, I think Rise has the upper hand time and time again. As long as Team Queso, though, can continue to stagger out their opponents through eliminations, through kind of locking them down with crosses and even torque bow grabs and things like that, I'll think they'll be okay. But if they do not pressure on this Rise squad, I think that's where a lot of their difficulties are going to come in. And I think that's where that 3-1 victory that I predicted is going to end.
This is going to get a little interesting to me, simply because early in this map, I have seen Rise be very good at kind of splitting their numbers, splitting their forces, playing a very execution-style game plan where they play toward the middle of the map, Lancer out toward that single pillar, that single block over at the original point number 1. And what I think Rise is going to be able to do here is give enough help to whoever goes to that fight over there, whether it be a 1v1 or a 1v2. They're going to get enough initial early help to win it, and then you'll see Rise kind of reset and re-rotate around for the power weapons. Queso cannot rely on just the torque bow spawn. They can't rely on getting a bunch of return on their investment at the torque bow to try to win this map. I think they're going to have to do it in the CQC, in the face-to-face fight, because you look at those 4 corner hills. 2 of them have stairwells that you basically run straight up to try to neutralize. The other 2, you can get in that front little ledge and try to neutralize it out. But both of them, or all 4 of them, excuse me, all 4 hills, extraordinarily hard to not only neutralize, but to retake against, especially with the caliber of aim and accuracy we get from our Pro League.
Yeah, and I like the way you brought up the stairwells, because each and every one of the corner hills does have that ability to possess a little bit of the high ground. So as easy enough as it is to come off a respawn, just move forward, try to contest the hill, you need to make sure that you're contesting the hill from the right side. That's what we always say, sacrifice the few seconds to make sure you have a quality push as a team. So for Team Queso, I think that's something that they have to step up and do. I don't know if it's going to be SuMuNs, Cristalize, Sleeafer, or heck, even Problems to try to be the solution, but somebody has to lead the troops here on this map.
Somebody's going to have to take the time to just settle the troops down and really, like you said, dictate their pacing, because one of the things that happens so much in Control, and I bear witness to it just about as much as anybody else on the face of the planet, is watching teammates get staggered out, watching teammates make those push after push, trying to get into a hill when they have no help, or you're trying to break a hill and you're the one that's finding yourself on the receiving end of a 2v1 or a 3v1 because when you thought you had help, or you thought you manipulated the positioning for somebody to try to help you, all by your lonesome again, looking around, looking for the help in a dark alley, ain't nobody coming except for your opponents. And that's one of the things that I think has to be very much put a spotlight on because Rise is so good at that. Rise, to me, is so good at keeping you off balance as a squadron because of how they can rotate around the map very quickly, how they team fire, how they set up and then basically find target after target. That's what's made Rise, rise to the top of the crop and be the cream that they are, because their single target shooting is like a dream, my man.
Yeah, and even though, we were talking about the quick decisions, like, it's very hard for a team like Team Queso to kind of out-rotate and out-decision make this roster of Rise, because you have the in-game IGL in Avexys. You have one of the greatest coaches in Affinity, and then you have the jack of all trades with DeToX, and you got Rushiez and INZEM able to make those quick decision-making plays that can really turn the tide. And they have a trust in one another to where even if it's not necessarily the right play, they wolfpack together and they turn a bad play into a good play by getting the eliminations in that CQC. And there's going to be a lot of those opportunities here on Reactor, whether if it's going for the frags on one side, going for the shocks or the torque bow. Those opportunities will be there, and it's about who takes advantage of them.
Taking advantage of early opportunities, both teams are going to have to get very good at it very quickly, especially because Reactor can spiral out of hand very quickly for anybody that's not ready for it. As we talked about, those four corners, very hard to defend against, very hard to put up a fight against your opponent on if they're able to solidify their positioning. We come into this map, and in this matchup, 2-1 in favor of Rise. They could finish it right here, right now. And it looks like Team Queso, they've gone with the overload. 3 players to P1.
Yep, you can see on the other side, though, Rise going for that early torque bow possession. But that's not going to slow them down. Team Queso realize they have the mismatch. First elimination is going to be cleaned up in the form of Avexys. They're trying to fire back as Rushiez gets one, but it's just going to be a trade. Team Queso now have Hill and Frags going up against respawn players of Rise and the torque bow.
So what they do here is INZEM's going to hop the top of that cover. He's got torque bow on his back. He's going to get shot on and taken down right there. DeToX is going to get first one now. DeToX looking for a second here. Shot on, gets the help from Avexys. There's the kill. They now have their point accumulation going in their favor, and they could get the lead before leaving this hill. They could make it 30-28, just to rub a little salt in the wound.
More than just that. More than just salt getting rubbed in as they're trying to fire back. See Rise doing a good job of controlling the second half of this hill. More than enough time left for them to get the lead back, but it's also, if they get the right elimination at the right time, stagger out their opponents, and begin to push forward for next, because like we said, high ground's going to be so important on these corner hills.
Now we see what they're able to do. Problems with a big body shot there. Picks up the meat shield, and with 9 seconds left, they played over the final trash time seconds, over the final moments of that rotation. And it looks like Queso already has a player playing into P2, with 3 players playing out to the outside edge of that first hill, making them rotate early. This will be a 3v2 early, but SuMuNs with the back 8 gets the first shot on. Now gets a big body shot there. If he just had some help, he could easily clean up some of these kills, and they do just that. There's the help arriving just in the nick of time.
You can already see 2 players on the hill, Sleeafer and Problems. Cristalize going as deep as he can go to block that spawn, forcing Rise in that downhill position that we're talking about. But you can see in your mini-map already, Avexys grabbing the shock, trying to return it into that 3v3, and then INZEM trying to test and stretch out wide and grab the spawn point just in case things go awry.
There's going to be a shock grenade down at the feet of Sleeafer. Sleeper's going to get shot on by a couple of different Nashers. Won't go down in that situation. Now Problems with a little cheeky angle here, trying to help out toward the new torque bow and help that player maybe go on the flank. And now we get to the back out to INZEM. Beautiful secondary play here by Team Queso. They're going to have a definitive lead after points 1 and 2. As 35 seconds left are on the hill. 4 bolts in the quiver for SuMuNs and Rise. Will they make another attempt to try to get some of these bolts out of the torque bow?
First one's not going to be able to connect. Luckily for SuMuNs, 3 more in the quiver. But that's just up for grabs, as Avexys going to be able to take him out. And you can see everybody making sure that they play this one to perfection. 16 seconds left. Not enough to contest. Everybody trying to about face and turn for the Nexus. Problems. He gets taken down. So that window of opportunity is Rises for the taking. Even more so that they catch Sleeafer out of position as well. So they have a chance to get the spawn point, get the next hill location, and contest for possible weapons as well.
Sitting on the spawn point, 2 players of Rise waiting for the retake to come in from Queso. 89-27 is the score line right now, ladies and gentlemen. And Rise do sit in the driver's seat, just awaiting. That's going to be Rushiez. Fragmentation over the top on the pillar. Second one drops at the feet of Sleeafer. They're going to get that kill. Now slip back to the bottom side. It's going to be SuMuNs sliding in for the back A. He's going to get lancered on and taken down. INZEM's going to be right next to him. Lets him bleed out for just a moment before picking the meat shield. Sleeafer bounces around as much as he can, but he'll go down. he will get taken out. Avexys enacting a 2v1 on the opposite side against Problems. A beautiful kill there by Rise. They have taken 4 up and 4 down in a clean sweep here on the start of this hill. They want to get back into this one quick, fast, and in a hurry.
The overall plan from Team Queso was good. Let me give them an F for execution because their timing just wasn't there. They attacked the hill, got staggered out. Problems had a 2v1 mismatch on the other side, but once again, the timing just was not there, and this is where they're just going to say, forget these plans, forget dividing the numbers. Let's go ahead and try to brute force their way, but the defense is sound from Rise. They're staggering these players out, lancering them down, and making sure they go 3 and out in terms of eliminations, cement this hill, and grab the lead right back to Rise.
Rise looking to keep this going. There's going to be another chunk, though, from Problems onto Avexys. That'll be a big shot for him, but he's going to get triple teamed there for just a moment. Down, now out. 2 players from Team Queso in P4. And we'll be waiting for the rotation in from Rise. First Torque Bow going down at the feet. No splash damage there, but tagged up pretty heavily. Sleeper has to rotate out of the hill, looking for a quick little pick there onto INZEM or DeToX. Finds the one on DeToX. Now it looks like Rise will move into a position to try to keep this hill in their favor. Rushiez to the top of his cover will be a Torque Bow bolt. No kill. Now Sleeper trotting back into the hill. There goes a shot to the bottom. Won't be able to find any splash damage with that one. Can Rise win this fight after getting some downs? Will they be able to get any cleanups? Rushiez, he's going to go down himself. Will it be another cleanup for SuMuNs? It will indeed. Trying to keep the odds in their favor, but now it's going to be a 1v2 Cristalize middle of the map.
That's the difference right there from team target selection as playing as individuals. Rise had their eyes on the prize. Meanwhile, Team Queso just shooting different targets, and that's not how you start to build the momentum, as both of the frags and the shot grenade going on over to Rise and immediately being dished out to try to turn their tides. Sleefer getting caught out. Avexys already spotting him out. The damage is going to start off, but it's Rise who are keeping control of the outer perimeter and locking Team Queso into certain spots.
You see what they're doing here, just setting up over this last 24 seconds, over this Torque Bow as well. DeToX helping out his teammates by cleaning up some kills as well, getting some of his own. Sleeper in the middle of this little reactor will get shot on and taken down. INZEM is going to start rotating over toward the next hill. Beautiful positioning by him in the middle of the map. He's going to have some chances to call out as he rotates, looking through the middle of the map, excuse me, not in it, but looking through it. He'll be able to call out anybody rotating across that middle. Sets up over the hill, 3 players in front of him. They will know where the forces of Team Queso would like to go for the retake on this hill.
2 frag grenades going out. Options about where to go are closing. Rushiez gets dropped. Meat shield's being picked up, but DeToX and Avexys charge forward. Clean up not 1, but 2 eliminations. Looking for a third as Sleeper's able to get it down. Not able to get the elimination, though. INZEM's going to be the hero there on that play. But that spawn point, the high ground spawn point, goes on over to Team Queso, and they get an elimination to boot. So this could be the start of a comeback.
Could possibly be the start of a comeback. Rushiez on a flank here, looking for the extra angle. He's going to hit Sleeper in the back. Now he's going to mount up against SuMuNs and Cristalize. Cristalize tries to turn with the Torque Bow. Misses that shot. He's going to continue to get chased. Goes for the hip fire, but Rushiez hits the chunk there. Problems trying to help Sleeper get a 2v1 on DeToX. Rushiez flying across the map. Dying now in a 2v1. Avexys on the cover, hits the shot over the top, but gets shotted very quickly by Problems. And now inside of the hill, 2 players from Team Queso. They are going to try to net as many points as they can before Rise can come back off of respawn.
And you can come and look at the mini-map right there. 3 players going to try to contest the hill, but it's Avexys going in towards the top middle to try to cloud out and gain information of where this next hill is going to be. INZEM's going to get dropped first, though, which makes Rise's job that much harder, but the damage is still being dished out. SuMuNs forced to backtrack, but all the eliminations what matter most as DeToX and Rushiez get shut down and shut out. You can see that's not going to slow down the Rise. They know the next one is the prize, but Avexys getting taken down. Frag grenades going on over to Sleeper. Cristalize trying to escape and draw that player in, but INZEM's not going to take the bait. You see him backtracking, going right back to where the next hill is going to be.
Now Cristalize, there's going to be a flash thrown in his face. He's going to lance out as much as he can. There's going to be DeToX on a little flank around the pillar. Gets the down and the meat shield on 1. Leaves the other player down for the bleed out, or for somebody else to pick up the meat shield. SuMuNs is going to see that Sleeper's going to pull the pin on his grenade and kill himself off there on the ground. And the other players from Team Queso, well, they're coming off a respawn, but there's nowhere really they can go. Rise is already right up into their face, waiting for them to try to push back out.
They're blocking off another avenue of rotation. alleviates the pressure, and you're seeing it in your mini-map. As soon as somebody goes out, they're watching those two players go to the middle. They're being proactive, trying to get the last 2 eliminations, but INZEM's going to get dropped, making it that much harder. But DeToX trying to alleviate that pressure, gets one on the Cristalize, keeping the numbers game on their side as someone's going to get dropped. And that's where you see everybody trying to turn and attack the hill. And with 4 players versus 2, this is their moment to strike.
Looking for Avexys here, backside of this cover. He's going to get shot on from a little cheeky angle from behind on the flank. DeToX is going to push out, though. Quick little revive. Rushiez over here by himself. Now knows that he has the help. Pushes back into one player. Gets the reaction shot finish on the player that goes down. Now looking for the extra 90-degree angle, but not a ton of help needed as they get that next chunk. Big body shot in there. Sleeper, Proms tries to rotate back up the stairs. Gets taken down by Rushiez. And Rise, I mean, to me, they have been on a roll for the last 5 to 7 minutes. They've been played pretty picture perfectly.
Good save. Yep. Picture perfect indeed, Colin. These proactive plays, yet again, another prime example of why they're constantly in that man advantage. And you can see them affecting from one side of the map to the other. INZEM trying to keep a head down, making it an even fight on the other side. And the cheeky angles, unfortunately enough, it's DeToX who continues to get caught off position. But the fire back is there. Avexys gets one. Rushiez gets the other. The numbers once again in the side of Rise as Rushiez goes back-to-back with 70 points and the game up for grabs.
See what they do here is INZEM in the middle of the map, finds that kill, and now, or Avexys find that kill in the middle of the map, now looks toward INZEM at P1 as we reset the hills. Plenty of time on this hill as well, as you spoke about. 3 extra full points on this hill for the victory. Rushiez will push out, try to keep them from getting into that neutralization position where it's very hard to challenge. Back A comes out. Nades will challenge up, but they get the kills. They continue to rack up points on the hill. Rushiez would like to finish it here, and he's feeling himself. He's going to call out the respawns, but finally one player from Team Queso finds a kill there in the middle of the map. It's going to be SuMuNs on to Avexys.
Whatever Rushiez does here, he's just kind of distracting the players of Team Queso, not letting them work together. Flash on one side, shot on the other. Finally, he's going to be stopped, but SuMuNs and Sleeafer get dropped on the other side of the map. Add Cristalize to that bunch. 15 seconds to go, 16 on the clock. It's all up to Problems here, because if he doesn't get this first break, it's all over for Team Queso.
Need a neutralization, gotta have somebody step into the hill, but this is where it gets dangerous. You're gonna have to fly right into the gunfire, and everybody trying to slow you down from Rise, and that will be it. Nobody even gets a toe in the water, even at the shallow end for Team Queso. They find themselves at the deep end without a life raft against Rise as they will fall 3-1. The only map going in favor of Team Queso was map 2 Execution on Clocktower, Jacob.
Yeah, and it just goes to show on the side of Team Queso, it's very, very good to know that you can win these executions. You can pull it out with your back up against the wall, but on the side of Rise, their win streak 6 in a row stays intact. It says no matter if it's in the beginning, no matter if it's on the tail end, we are going to finish strong. And yes, map number 1 looking a little shaky. Map number 2, like you said, was a loss, but from maps number 3 and on, they've woken up from their slumber and they realized enough is enough. We're done playing with our food, and let's just move on to next week.
They really did a succinctly good jobs in map 3 and 4 of putting themselves in the best position possible to close that series out and move on with their lives, really pushing a boundary against Team Queso, really bringing them to the brink of their capabilities. You saw it time and time again. Team Queso, they just were not up to snuff to stay with the speed and the aggression of Rise.
I think the majority of that time, too, throughout all 4 maps, it was more so Rise was playing this very, very proactive. You can see a lot of these exchanges when they have the numbers, they immediately are trying to go forward or get something for their efforts, whether it's position, weapon, or the actual eliminations. On the other side, Team Queso, even though they did have the first close 2 maps, one of them being victorious, it looked like it was all reactionary. It was trying to react to what Rise is doing. And yeah, it's good, it's fine and dandy that you can pick up rounds, you can pick up maps getting reactionary, but Rise knows in order to win the maps, in order to win the major, you have to control your own destiny. And I think right now, this split, they're one of the best teams at controlling their own destiny.
We'll see how their destiny serves them going forward. As again, we look at the score line from some of the maps. We saw that 6-5 there in map 2. This could have been a 3-0 with a 300-269 and the 5-0 on either side of that Team Queso victory sandwich, with Reactor being the final gasp for them. 4 maps in, 3 maps over to Rise. They only drop 1. Team Queso still trying to catch up to the top of the leaderboard, top of the wolf pack that is Rise and the rest of them that sit atop a Pro League. But Jacob, we're only getting started tonight, my brother. This is only the first matchup. We got 2 more for everybody. You better be seated and ready because next up, we have an inter-regional rivalry. Fury 1 versus Rebel right after this.